RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. What's up, everybody? My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, and humanity. And thank you so much for being here. I see the chat room filling up with the amazing Tarabuster community, and our OG Tarabusters and some new Tarabusters. So come on over to youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster to hang out, join the conversation, join the best chat room in all of liberal media. And thank you right out of the gate, Jim, for your super chat. And thank you, Richard W., for your super chat. Another great show, Tara. I love your faith in me, Jim. I really do. I mean, Richard. And I love Jim's faith as well. But, Richard, thank you so much. You're really setting the bar right out of the gate. So, yeah. Hi, everybody. Let's see. SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher. Give the show a good review on iTunes. And keep coming back. It works if you work it. Work it, you're worth it. Work it. What am I saying? Work it, you're worth it. And also FYINation a little bit later. Thomas Reynolds. We had a great conversation yesterday. Thomas will be joining again. Thomas Reynolds, the Nosey Liberal from FYINation.com. And what else? Rokfin. All right. You know, if you must. Now, Rokfin's great. There's a lot of... I don't know. There's a lot of right-wingers over there. So we need more normal people. So you can join Rokfin, and there's other liberal talk shows, but it does seem to be a bit populated with a lot of strange people. So, okay. But I'm not really doing it any favors right now. Hopefully nobody at the Rokfin board is listening. But... all right, let's foot and mouth. Let's keep moving right along. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, tonight's show, I want to say, I don't want to spend too much time doing all the palaver because we have a lot to talk about, and because it's Friday, we do have to stick to the time constraints because this show is recorded for Progressive Voices on Friday, and that's why I have the music cues. But tonight's show is brought to us by Dana. Thank you, Dana. No last name, just Dana. Thank you, Dana, for becoming a patron. For going to youtube.com/C for channel. What am I saying? Going to patreon.com/Tarabuster. I have so many. I mean, wait. I have so many URLs in my mind. Am I having? I spent the day painting. I'm doing a lot of painting around the house. Maybe it's the fumes. So. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Thank you, Dana, for becoming a patron. Because of you and your fellow Patreons, the show will keep going and growing. So thank you, Dana. And if you can, join us in the chat room one of these days or nights and hang out. Also, remember that you could hang out in the Discord community, too, because we get together there as well. That's where we stay in touch in between shows. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's just start. Right before I started the show, I'm a little irritated, as we know. Don't want to get too personal. No, I'm only kidding. It's not that kind of irritation. It's just the irritation to my soul that I constantly suffer with being an American. For however long it lasts. And I'm not saying I'm going anywhere. I just mean that I highly doubt at this point, if we don't get this country back from these fascist pricks, I highly doubt that there will be in America in a couple of 100 years. It will probably Either if it lasts in any form, it'll be it'll have to split up, in my opinion. But okay, in the meantime, right before we went on air, I just looked at Huffington Post. Sometimes I'll just go on there just to see if something happened. Oh, I didn't put the TV on either. Jeez. That something happened, some news, some breaking news or whatever. I don't even have the remote. I guess we'll just live with it without it on tonight. Oh, here it is. Whatever. Who cares? I'll leave it off for now. But, so I'm so irritated. So the headline, well, one of the headlines is San Francisco Archbishop bans communion for Nancy Pelosi over her abortion stance. I thought that the reason the religions don't pay taxes is because that's the deal was that they stay the F out of politics. So, and this is why you could say, okay, it's not politics. They're talking about a baby. No, you're not. Because this is why it drives me insane that the Democrats don't shut this shit down. If you don't like abortion, vote Democratic. That's the damn talking point, because abortions go down under Democratic policies. And all that Republicans are doing, criminalizing abortion, is they're killing women. There's your talking points. You know what I mean? Like, just kick the feet out from under, metaphorically, out. They don't have a leg to stand on, really, with their BS. And then the fact that we have these so-called Christians wading into it is it's beyond offensive. But what will the Democrats do? Will they push back? No, they'll talk about a woman's right to choose, which is, that's part of it, choose. But then, they come back with choose killing a baby. And it's not it's about freedom and having autonomy and being a fully actualized human being with all of the freedoms that entails, that so many others fought, bled, and died for. And, not just being an appendage of a man. But that's part of it. But it's also about who really is the party of life. Everything that these Republicans talk about, all of their so-called policies. They don't have policies. They're just sycophants. They're sycophants to the big lie. They're sycophants to a con man. They're sycophants to oligarchy, and they're aggrieved. They're upset that the world keeps evolving. That's their big problem, and that's why they're trying to drag us back to basically to undo the American Revolution. So, are you listening, Democrats? Even today. I all day, as I was painting and whatnot, I was listening to progressive media and some corporate media, but I hadn't heard a single normal person anywhere give the facts about who really is the party of life. Give me a break. It's so much more than just autonomy, even though it's a big part of it. But it's about exposing the con in the conservative, so-called conservative argument. It's all a grift. It's all a con. It's bullshit. That's why they got to go to they got to go with their bullshit. Everybody's a pedophile. They got to make shit up because they have nothing Everything is a lie. I'm so tired of it. So, as the Huffington Post reports, defying Pope Francis, San Francisco's Catholic Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone on Friday announced that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi may no longer receive the sacrament of communion. But Republicans can, right? And how fucking dare they? I mean, I'm pissed off, really, because I'm just so sick of right-wingers, as Mike Malloy calls them, the flying monkeys. But that's what they are, flying around this country, causing mayhem, like little like little demons. But I'm tired of it. And earlier today, I saw another clip, you probably saw it too, of this other freak, this pastor, talking about how if you vote Democrat, Democrat, not Democratic, because that's another thing the Democrats never push back on. The fact that the right wingers are they're such babies who have zero interest in a democracy that they can't even call you by your name. Well, what else is new? You know what I mean? What else is friggin' new? It's just too much. It's too much, wokeness to call people by their names. And that's just too much. But where is this friggin' scumbag? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of cursing on the show. This is your final warning. Where the F is it? Pastor. Whatever. I always do this. Says, Pastor sparks controversy by saying that telling his followers that Democratic voters are demons who are unwelcome in his congregation. How much longer are we going to take this shit? And this all goes to the fact that Democrats just don't fight. Because they expect the normal people, the normal majority of this country, to, by osmosis, not let this shit sink in. They'll just reject it out of hand. No, you got to fight every battle on every front. And the reason they can get away with this without being in the margin, because that's what they are a minority party. And the reason they can get away with this, it's violence-inspiring rhetoric, dehumanizing. And where do we go from here? The reason they can get away with it is because there is no pushback. It's like they're expected to be this vile bunch of scums, and everybody is, well, that's just them. It's like when a toddler has a tantrum at the supermarket. That's who they are. They're only 2. They're only 3 years old. But it's the same thing with Republicans. But now you see where we are. They're in power now because of all the times we never pushed back. And they've run away with the message. And the reason they can continue, and it's not just the message, they've run away with the damn government through their filthy, dirty tricks. And everywhere we look, it's the epidemic of inaction from the Democrats, and this is just one aspect of it. Just like they should have fought back when Moscow Mitch was stealing a Supreme Court seat and every other court seat he can get his traitorous hands on. If you ain't, and then the same pastor, the same piece of shit who's going to burn in hell, says that he, as far as insurrection, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, that's a threat, I hear. Okay. Oh, but don't worry. Turn on MSNBC. There'll be Steve Kornacki at the big board talking about the horse race. Who's up in the polls? Oh, and what people really want to focus on is, inflation. Because that's what really fucking matters, right? When you're got a knife to your throat. And it's I don't know. I don't even know. Let's talk them. Let's reason with them some more. I don't. It's beyond. There is no hope for the for the for the Republican Party, for the conservative movement. It's a bowel movement. Yeah, it's a movement, all right. It's a rotten, infected bowel movement. You ain't seen nothing yet, this scumbag pastor Greg Locke says, as far as an insurrection. So we got that. And then we have the Archbishop of San Francisco denying Nancy Pelosi communion because of her stance on abortion. Meanwhile, the abortion rate goes up under conservative policies, and on top of that, women die. Also, not just abortion rate goes up, so do the hungry children, the infant mortality rate. All of it's the more death, more destruction. I don't know. I mean, but they're the party of life. This is why you have to fight every battle. I don't really know. Sometimes is it? I don't even know. Are we going to be able to recover? It just seems so insurmountable sometimes. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I wasn't going to talk about that. It's just that I saw it and it pissed me off. And it's just part of the whole epidemic of hypocrisy that we face in this country. Like, here's an example. Yeah, we know the racism, the filthy lies, this effing replacement theory, great replacement theory, which is it's an old racist trope right out of the Nazi playbook. And, because the Republicans are the party of personal responsibility, here's where is it? Elise Stefanik was interviewed, or at least one of the CNN anchors or whatever, not anchors, reporters, asked her about it because of her Facebook ads, really, that are right out of the Nazi playbook. Talking about this great replacement thing. And here's what the party of personal responsibility, Elise Stefanik, has to say about that.
Criticized your Facebook ads, said that they were part of the dark gospel of fear and hate and racism. Can you respond to that?
I condemn racism.
Yeah, sure you do.
The difference of opinion on immigration is I support a secure border, while Democrats have a wide open border. I don't support allowing illegals to vote.
And you disavow this replacement theory?
I've never made a racist comment, and I am known nationally as expanding the Republican Party by supporting black candidates and Hispanic candidates.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Bishop.
You're a real
that last exchange
MLK. You're right up there with Rosa Parks, bitch. That's your party of personal responsibility. I support black candidates. That's her excuse. I got some black friends. As long as they are also sucking con man, tiny, smaller than average, ass or something else. Hold on a second. Here comes the music mercifully. This is Tara Devlin. God help us all. So what's Elise Stefanik's? I don't even know the other thing about her. Just to get, not to go off on her looks, but I don't know. I've never seen such a googly-eyed bitch that has so much hate. To me, she's just got these googly eyes. Either they got dead eyes or googly eyes, but she's got the double whammy, the dead googly eyes. And her response is, "Oh, I'm not a racist. I got some black friends, and I'm, whataboutism. Democrats are all about open borders." This is what she's saying. No, which is a freaking lie. An absolute lie. And she knows it. The bitch knows it. And illegals voting. Isn't that what you're talking about? The great replacement theory? Could Democrats support equal? They want open borders and illegals voting. Where? Show me where, bitch. But of course, the CNN reporter doesn't. What can he do, right? But when they come back to discuss the party of personal responsibility, once again taking no responsibility, nobody mentions the fact that every word out of her fascist face is a lie. So I guess if you just allow the lies, just keep them coming like a fire hose, they're bound to make it through. That's part of the Nazi playbook, too. Unbelievable. That's your party of personal responsibility, once again. But I don't understand how they have been allowed to get away with spreading these lies so far and wide, and without consequence, without any pushback. The fact that they don't even address it on CNN. They don't say, well, putting aside the fact that she's taking no responsibility for her abhorrent part in yet another massacre in this sad, dying country, she's also responded with lies. Denigrating Democrats for policies that it doesn't even matter how many times you correct them. They just keep coming with the same shit. It's like how much can you waste your breath on them? But you have to. Right? Because that's what they hope. They want to beat you down constantly by no matter how many times you correct them or you correct the record, they figure, oh, well, it'll get through. Some of it'll look at the big lie. If you don't correct it every single time, it still doesn't matter to half of these fucking morons, more than half. And yeah, you gotta be a moron to be a Republican. I'm sorry. Communion? Please. Oh, Nancy, they're not going to give Nancy Pelosi communion because she doesn't want women to die in back alleys. That's what the Democrats should say. Oh, they don't want to give her communion because she wants the abortion rate to actually go down and not just vilify and divide the American people with this lie, and on top of sending women to die in back alleys. Because Republicans hate women. They hate babies. They hate adolescents, toddlers, prepubescents, teenagers, young adults, middle-aged human beings, and the elderly. They hate us all. And they also hate you when you're dead. They hate you before you're alive. Because they're look at the country, look at the planet they're making for everyone. Yeah, this is what they're doing. They hate the preborn. They're always about the preborn. Well, what do? You know, when you have friends come over, right? You try to make a nice house. You bring out some food. You give them a comfortable place to sit and stay, right? But what do Republicans? That's because you want them. You want to welcome them. But not Republicans. What do Republicans do? They want to create an uninhabitable planet for the preborn. And when the preborn get born and then they go to school, they want to make sure that they go through live shooter drills. If they're unlucky enough to actually be in a shooter, maybe they'll die because some fucker that Republicans armed went into their school and shot it up. And then if you grow up, well, even if you aren't one of the victims of a school shooter, you come out with PTSD anyway because you spent your formative years going through live shooter drills. And then you grow up, you try to have your own family. I'm going to the supermarket to buy food for my family. And then maybe you're going to get shot up there too. But it doesn't matter because half the fuckers in there don't wear masks because they couldn't give a shit whether their fellow Americans live or die in the middle of a pandemic. So maybe you'll get COVID. I mean, there's your party of life. God. I mean, look at her back to us. That just says it all. Anyway, I love the way they make like they're looking at their phones. I support all pigments. I don't let the dead googly eyes fool you. I'm very important, and I'm in a rush to my next Klan rally. Bitch. Where is this? Hold on. I'm in a pissed off mood. I'm just sick of it. Anybody else sick of it? I'm also sick of... Oh, here it is. Sick of doing prep work that I can't find when the time is right. Here's the ads. Elise. Oh, come on. Don't even tell me. This is the ads. I support all pigments. I did nothing of the sort. Here's the ads she ran. Radical Democrats are planning their most aggressive moves yet. A permanent election insurrection. Oh, yeah, pay no attention to the insurrection of the big lie and the violence that we all witnessed on January 6th and the violence in between and, trying to kidnap governors and assholes running around with assault weapons, trying to break up this fake ass, whatever fake bullshit that comes out of the mouths of Republicans from pedophile rings and pizzeria basements that don't have a basement in the pizzeria, to whatever. How many violent incidences have we had to endure in this country, from sending pipe bombs to CNN every pillar of democracy these fuckers hate, and they respond with violence. Well, because they have people like Dr. Oz and the rest of them telling them that that's what the Second Amendment's for. That's another thing. We talked about that yesterday, too. But here, the Elise Stefanik, their plan to grant amnesty to 11 million illegal immigrants will overthrow our current electorate and create a permanent liberal majority in Washington. You prick. You little racist bitch. With the filthy, googly eyes. the dead googly eyes. Don't take it out on this sad country because you got dead googly eyes. And you don't care about anything but your own ass getting kissed and pampered and all that power you want to accumulate because you're at least Stefanik? Oh my God. I wish I could transport myself to the future where I could look back and say, I told you so. This is not going to end well, and history will revile them. And I want to get there, really. I want to get to the part where they are reviled. And because they're repugnant, absolutely repugnant. Elise, Joe Biden, here's the other ad. Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi are attempting to flood our voter rolls with 11 million new voters by giving illegal immigrants amnesty. Bullshit. But that's okay, because it doesn't matter. Republicans eat lies for breakfast, and then they shit out violent insurrection. Usually in the Capitol. That's where they do it. Because they haven't been raised right. They don't know how to function in a democracy. And they don't realize that when you go to the Capitol of the United States, you don't take a shit in the halls. But these are the people they want to take the country back. I cannot. How is it? I mean, we're sharing the same air with these morons. It's very depressing, really. Oh, boy. I'm sorry, guys. I know. I'm in a pissy mood. Where are you, though? I can't find you. My friends. There you are. Let me see. Who's in the chat? I see River. Nice to see you. There's so many other things. Let me see. I know we're going to get Thomas Reynolds in here soon, but give me a couple minutes. Here. See this? I came across this ad. This was J.D. Vance's ad. It was like a month ago.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. They censor us, but it doesn't change the truth. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans, with more illegal drugs and more Democrat voters pouring into this country.
Democrat voters.
This issue is personal.
Same thing, right? More Democrat voters pouring into the country. That's your great replacement theory, yet again. You're a bunch of Nazis. They don't even realize that. I mean, I guess at this point, it doesn't even matter. You know, I was going to say, they don't even they're such Nazis, they don't realize how Nazi they are. They can't help it. But at this point, I guess being a Nazi to them is a feature, not a bug. They like being Nazis. And the other thing is that I just wanted to play the end of this ad. Well, hold on. Let me play it.
I nearly lost my mother to the poison coming across our border. No child should grow up an orphan. I'm J.D. Vance.
See, that really irritated me because apparently J.D. Vance's mother was an addict, but she didn't get drugs from illegals coming over the border. She stole drugs from the hospital where she worked. So right there, yet again, his whole, feel bad for me. This is personal to me because illegals came across the border with drugs for my mother. is a lie. No, honey, not illegals. The big pharma, your corporate paymasters that addicted, probably many people in your community, JD. The opioid epidemic because of the greed of the pharmaceutical company and the OxyContin that they deliberately made, more addictive. And then they were in cahoots with grifters in the FDA that gave these drugs a special label that said it was less addictive. But that's beside the point at this point. But him saying that his mom, that his mother was addicted because of an illegals brought drugs across, it's just a fucking lie. It's just bullshit from the start. I mean, they can't even tell the truth about their own origin story. Everything is a lie to them to manipulate the morons to hate even more. Are you a racist? When I saw this ad, I was like, is this real life? Listen to the way it starts again.
Are you a racist?
Because if you are, I'm your guy. If you have to constantly be upset that somebody's calling you a racist, you are a fucking racist. Look at yourself. Just say, why is everybody calling me a racist? But they won't because, it's the party of personal responsibility. And it's our problem. As if we don't have anything else to call them. There's so many words, but we can only think of one and call them racist. You're racist because you're racist. You are racist. You're disgusting. Look at you. Look at your policies. Look at everything about you. Look at the con man. The first things out of his mouth were filthy, fascist, racist lies. Are you a racist? I don't understand. If they love being racist so much, and why are you so offended by it? It's something that you hold so dear. Being white. So what? I don't know why you're so triggered when people call you racist. It's you know what it is? It's the truth. They don't like truth. And when the truth is presented to them in any form, they recoil. That's when they get nuts. That's why they don't want to talk about, the racist history, the actual racist history of the country. But they want to talk about shit that doesn't exist.
You hate Mexicans?
Yeah, you do.
The media calls us racist for wanting to build Trump's wall.
The media calls you racist for wanting to build Trump's wall. Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you build a wall on Canada's border then? How about you just build a wall around yourself and dig a hole? Just build a wall. Build a wall around your shithole communities. Where you just, nobody will ever bother you. You can have a Trump rally every night. And then build a wall and never come out. There'll be no socialist security, no government, no FDA, nobody. No big government to get in the way of your bootstraps. Oh, these people are frightening because right now, actually, off the top of my head, I just remembered, isn't CPAC in Hungary right now? We talked about this on another show, that they were going there, but they're in Hungary now. That's not an accident. They had to purposefully get their asses there and they picked Hungary of all the places on earth to have their disgusting gathering. And Viktor Orban apparently he told the CPAC monsters that he said the path to power is to have your own media. Well, hello. What have I been saying? The path to power? That's why Fox News is the most repugnant poison ever to inflict itself on this sad body politic. That's why Rupert Murdoch is a cancer. He's walking cancer. Where are the Democrats, you know? That's why I say, you know, hey, become a patron. Thank you, Dana, for becoming a patron tonight. This is the future the Republicans want to inflict on the country. Oh, you don't have to, you know, expand your mind. You just got to look to Hungary, to Putin's Russia, to the hate monsters of Earth. That's the kind of world they want to create here. And there you look at, I mean, this is why Tucker Carlson did his show in Hungary. They're looking there for inspiration, and they will be successful if we don't stop them. This is Tara Devlin. Thanks for hanging out. So, here, wait, where is this? Orban recently elected, here, this is from The Guardian. Flora Garamag, well, I can't pronounce that. Sorry, Flora G. Orban, recently elected to a fourth term, laid out a 12-point blueprint to achieving and consolidating power to a special meeting of the U.S. Conservative Political Action Conference, which is a fascist organization, under the slogan of God, Homeland, and Family. If that doesn't give you Nazi chills, I mean, not Nazi, you know, chills from the Nazi, the very clear Nazi correlation. They are Nazis. It's like it must be traumatizing to anybody who ever. I mean, there are a few people who are still alive that lived through that. It's got to be pretty traumatizing to watch it happening again. The Hungarian Prime Minister said that with his fourth electoral victory, Hungary had been completely healed of progressive dominance. He suggested it was time for the right to join forces. We have to take back the institutions in Washington and Brussels. We must find allies in one another and coordinate the movements of our troops. You see, this is like a 4-alarm fire. And I swear I can't take it. The reason it's happening, okay? Republicans, and every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. That's always been true. But the reason I get so despondent and frantic, really, is I'll read this, we'll see this, and we know that it's happening, and then you'll see the corporate media, and they'll be just doing the polls. You know? Well, Joe Biden, Democrats, warning signs ahead for Democrats in the election because of inflation, and most people are, you know, the kitchen table issues. And, well, I guess these kitchen table issues. So it was kitchen table issues for Nazi Germany, too. It was the Jews getting in the way of those kitchen table issues, and all they had to do was turn their eyes in another direction when their neighbors were disappeared in the middle of the night. So, and, they got some kitchen table issues. The kitchen table issues got better then. A lot of jobs opened up then. Somebody to blame, somebody to hate. And from all the corners of the rat's nest of republicanism, we have violent insurrectionists getting power in the country. And they're crackpots. We got these crackpots in seats of power. And you'll hear some on the corporate media, they'll talk about it. They're crackpots, they're unfit, they're fascists, they're even, they're saying the F word. And then they'll go, let's go to Kornacki at the big board. There should be no other story than we're in big trouble. The house is on fire. Republicans are now the domestic enemies the founders warned us about. There's no getting around it. They're holding meetings in Hungary. They're propaganda outlets that make you stupid, less informed than people who watch no news at all, are doing special reports from Hungary. They're doing their show there all week. We're going to be here in Hungary because that's what we want to do to America. And the Democrats allowed this. They enabled it. Going back to Obama and before, especially Clinton, but when they didn't kick Fox News out of the White House press corps. You know what I mean? They did, and CNN. I don't know if you guys remember when Helen Thomas passed away, and then Fox News got the prestigious front and center seat in the White House press corps that Helen Thomas had sat in for decades. And then I think what happened was Obama, they put Fox News to the back of the room or something and said, and Obama said, Fox News is not news. And I'm paraphrasing. It's just it's right-wing propaganda. And CNN and MSNBC, and they all boycotted the White House press corps because they were like, oh, this is something, like they were holding it was solidarity with Fox News, and they were like, this is chilling that the government is saying what's news and what's not news. And of course Obama relented, and here we are. How many years of poison that Fox News has dripped into the ears and the low effort thinking brains of right-wingers, to the point that we are in the middle of an insurrection. And the Republicans on all fronts are poised to illegitimately seize power and ensure that we can do nothing about it. That's how it goes. It's throughout history, even in Nazi Germany, the fascist assholes are never a majority. But they do it by any means necessary. They get power by any means necessary, and then they pull up the ladder behind them. They have no scruples. They don't play by the rules because they hate democracy. Democracy takes an agreement. Don't be shocked that they don't abide by that agreement, because they never will. They never wanted to begin with. And when your goal is to destroy the democratic republic that you pretend to love, who cares how you get there? Destroy it. Cross those lines. Violate those norms. There's no going back unless we fight these fuckers unapologetically. But I guess I'm just screaming into the wind, because Nancy Pelosi on what's she gonna say? Will they fight back? I don't know. She'll just go take back your party, Republicans. So just to finish this article, and then I'll get Thomas in here. You have to have your own media. It's the only way to point out the insanity of the progressive left. The insanity. The insanity of living wages, retirement security, e pluribus unum. The insanity of treating people with decency, dignity, and respect. The insanity of leaving no one behind. Yeah, it's so insane. The problem is that the Western media is adjusted to the leftist viewpoint. No, that's truth. Because truth has a liberal bias. That's what they hate. That's why they have to lie and get their Rupert Murdoch poison into the brain, the low effort thinking, low IQ, scientifically verified, I might add, brains of the fascists who are destroying the country. Those who taught reporters in universities already had progressive leftist principles. Yeah, like democracy. Okay? These people are the enemies that the founders warned us about. If this were 1776, what would they say about the founders overthrowing an intergenerational aristocracy in a monarchy? Right? I mean, they're saying it right here. Oh, they have leftist principles. Well, what do you think this thing is? He portrayed the media, U.S. media, as being dominated by Democrats, who he claimed were being served by CNN, The Times, New York Times, and others. If you report the truth. Unbelievable. All right, we're reading an article about what Viktor Orban said to CPAC audience. They're in Hungary now, kissing fascist ass. And he said, of course the GOP has its media allies, but they can't compete with the mainstream liberal media. And that's another lie. It's bullshit. There is no liberal media. This is the liberal media. You're looking at it. It says, please become a patron every other fucking breath. It's annoying. Well, not me. I mean, saying, please become a patron. Well, maybe I am annoying to you, but I don't know. It's annoying that we don't have big billionaire benefactors. That, we don't have that kind of clout. My friend Tucker Carlson is the only one who puts himself out there, he said. His show is the most popular. What does this mean? It means programs like his should be broadcast day and night, or as you say, 24/7. Carlson has been billed as a key speaker at the CPAC conference. Oh my God. But he sent a 38-second video message in which he extolled Hungary under the Orban government as a model for the U.S. I can't believe that you're in Budapest and I'm not. This is Tucker Carlson. What a wonderful country. And you know why you can tell it's a wonderful country? Because the people who turned our country into a much less good place are hysterical when you point it out. The last thing they want is any kind of signpost to a better way. And what does that better way entail, you fascist monster? Putting people in their place. Oh, it entails the suppression of free speech, the suppression of education, the suppression of workers' rights, workers' freedoms, the suppression of the press. It requires the destruction of democracy. And the left just goes nuts when you point it out. Crazy. A free and decent and beautiful country that cares about its people, their families, and the physical landscape. Yeah, like Republicans do, right? They care about families by saving your good white family from those evil women who don't know their place, and those evil gays who want to be humans just like the rest of us, want to be treated like humans. Oh my God. Those evil trans people. Oh, help. They don't know that they should just, they should just kill themselves. And it's all about the people, you see. Journalists from the international media outlets, including the New Yorker, Vox, Vice, Rolling Stone, and the Associated Press, were denied access. What a surprise. Oh, it's all about freedom, though, and free speech and beauty. Just like Nazi Germany. It was all about love and the fatherland. And the beautiful, Wagner and beautiful art that depicted beauty. None of this crazy art that had people all cuckoo. But it was freedom. Oh, God. I got to get Thomas in here. Hold on. I don't know, guys. Freedom. Everybody free. You're free, right? Everybody's feeling freedom. Let's see if I can call Thomas. Bing, bang, bang. No. Oh, okay. But it was freedom.
Hey, Tara.
I can't believe it. You picked up. And now you're green. Everything's green.
Hold on. Let me fix that.
Everything, don't worry. We're only doing a live show. That's okay.
We had this problem with Jeff Waldorf the other day. I have to fix it real quick, and I will. But can you hear me okay?
I hear you, but yeah.
Okay, that's great. But you got to see me.
I don't. Let me. Do the people hear you?
I hope the people.
I'm just asking them. I don't see you. It's green. It's green. It's green.
So green.
So the Nazis put up here, right? White Rabbit on the chat. The Nazis put up a museum of degenerate art. All the art they condemned. That museum had more visitors than the other museum. Yes, that's right. And yeah, that was a one of the Goebbels thing, of course.
So
right?
green, Tara.
I don't see anything because I don't see you. I only see your avatar. I don't see. Yes, so everybody says they can hear you. So.
Okay, well that's a start.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Do you? It's just that.
Let me.
Yeah, no, it's green.
Just do audio.
Okay, just do audio. Okay. On the phone with Thomas Reynolds, the Nosey Liberal, FYINation.com. So anyway, I'm in a pissy mood, so I don't know about you.
Look, Tara, I totally get it. Why you're in a pissy mood? I'm in this. The only good mood that I'm in is the fact that for those, I'm not playing it now because we're having the tech issues, but for those on our network for FYINation, we're monetized now. So now you can actually go in and do all the stuff for YouTube. So maybe we'll be able to get that tiny YouTube check.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. What? What do you mean you're monetized now?
Where our videos will make money for us.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So it's a bit of a start
on
for
YouTube,
us.
You mean?
On YouTube, yes.
Okay, good.
And I may have fixed the video issue. I don't know if you can.
I don't see you. How can I tell?
That's weird.
Oh, there you go. Okay. You were there, and now you're gone.
And now I'm back. There we go.
Okay.
I hate technology.
I do too.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. It's just
I tried
the way it is.
I tried something new and everything was working before, and of course when we do it live, it.
Of course, right now there's always something. That's the truth. But yeah. Anyway, but whatever. I'm just sick of it all. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you. I was did a show today, thanks to your positive impact yesterday.
That's good.
And we were talking about the Republican crazy of how they are freaking out over on the right because 3 Senate, and now this bill will never pass, but 3 Senate Democratic people have introduced or reintroduced a bill.
Oh, wait, hold on, Thomas. I'm sorry. The music. We'll be right back with Thomas Reynolds from FYINation.com. All right, we're back. Thomas, what were you saying?
So, 3 Senate Democratic people, Cory Booker is one of them, have reintroduced a bill from 2019 in basically a federal gun laws after the Buffalo shooting. So the right wing are all, oh my pearls!
Oh God!
I have to clutch them because you're infringing on my rights. And listen to what they want, Tara. They want a criminal background check, a written and oral, written and not oral, but a taken exam to get a gun.
Like when you get a driver's license, you have to take a written exam. Exactly.
Like a test. And then they want a proof of, oh my God, identity. Don't they want that to vote? All the time, and they want what was the other one? But basically that was it. And they're so freaking out.
Right. Well,
for this littlest thing. It's like these are all basic things that we want to have somebody to have if they want to be employed in this country, but we can't have this to get a gun
because they want more death in the country. They want people at each other's throats, and they will never do anything to that might, in some way, shape, or form, bring the American people together and make people safe. They want more death and fear and arguing about this. And, it really isn't about life in any way, shape, or form. That's for sure. They hate life. They want death. They want struggle, strife, PTSD. They want kids to be traumatized. And those kids grow up in this country and they'll turn into effed up, traumatized adults, and then the cycle will continue. So ultimately, it will lead, it's not even ultimately, it's right around the corner. If they're successful, this country will be like Hungary. It will be like Orban's Hungary. That's the game plan. I don't really know. I have a lot of thinking to do because I don't want to live in a fascist country.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tara. I think the way to get out of there is not to run away and go. I mean, it's easy to go to Canada or England or someplace nice like France. But I think the hard part is, and you're doing this, is to do the legwork, to sit and fight for this country, because we believe in what real Americans believe in: equality and no bigotry and a clean environment and all these things that are actually possible if you just had a government that governed and really had somebody unlike Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema who didn't cock block the president of the United States to get him, by the way, these low approval numbers. If it weren't for Joe Manchin, I blame Joe Manchin. For these low approval numbers. Because if it weren't for him, we would have both infrastructure bills passed, we'd have a gun reform passed, we'd have all these things. Because supposedly, damn it, Tara, we're in the majority.
Of course we are.
And the majority means that the majority rules. And fuck compromise. And why do I say that? Because Lauren Boebert just this week said, well, the terrorist Democrat can't be trusted to govern. Well, if
terrorist,
if we can't be trusted to govern, then damn it, let's govern.
But I mean, everything about them is projection. It's like, you know, I know you are, but what am I? That should be their slogan, you know. It's I'm not a terrorist. The Democrats are terrorists. The terrorist Democrat. What terrorist? Show me the terrorism. The terrorism of an election that you fucking lost. Aw, poor boo-boo. Go to Hungary, you know, get the F out. Democracy, you know, I remember them, love it or leave it, right? America, love it or leave. Well, you obviously don't love America, so leave it. Leave it the F alone and go. Just go. Go to Hungary. Go to Russia.
But if they don't, I am pleading, I am begging corporate Democrats to grow a spine and stop the get along to play. Get along to go along bullshit that has gridlocked a government where we have the control over. The reason if the Republicans win the midterms is because the Democratic Party, when they had control, laid on their back and did nothing. It's just like I said on my show and I'm fired up because of this, because I'm angry. Hillary Clinton, I will say this every day of my life and I will die on this hill. Hillary Clinton was right about SCOTUS and what would happen to the Supreme Court the minute Donald Trump got elected president. And all those lily white liberals who told me not to be afraid and it would be okay. Fuck you.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about there. What? Lily white liberals what? Did what?
My old show, I had a whole bunch of liberals, very progressive Bernie folk.
Okay.
Who were good intentioned, but very white and very well, the Democrats are the same as the Republicans.
Oh, well, I know what you mean.
You know, you're just going to get this, that, and the other thing. Well, you know what? Now we got it.
I hear you. Well, I don't want to, like, go into, like, you know, I'm not, it's, I know what you're talking about, but it's.
But that's why I'm pleading. That's why I'm pleading for people like Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden to take the bull by the horns and do their damn job to control the situation.
Yeah, they're not going to, though. That's the thing. They're not, because they're incapable of it. They are, it's like, you know, they're creatures of habit. They resist the change, it seems to me. I mean, it's just, I think Nancy Pelosi needs to fucking retire, in my opinion. And
I agree.
But I know what you're saying. You know, I'm not one of the people. See, it's sort of like I heard, well, not heard, or read something that Susan Sarandon wrote. Everybody's up Susan Sarandon's ass. That kind of annoys me, but because it's not, Susan Sarandon's, like when they were, when the Supreme Court thing leaked and everybody's like, oh, thanks, Susan Sarandon. But, she's one person. Give me a break. But she pointed out that the only thing that Democrats offer is as a solution is vote for more Democrats, and here we are, but I mean, what's the alternative? I understand where she's coming from, but I don't know. Yeah, it is. It does feel helpless, but I'm not going to, I don't know, vote for Jill Stein.
As Jeff Waldorf calls them, reactionary liberals, reactionary left.
Right. But I mean, yeah.
Who are good-intentioned folks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be divisive here. I'm really not.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm pleading for unity, because we need these.
Well, there's
to stop people like Joe Manchin.
No, I know. I mean, yeah, the system is broken. It reminds me of, well, like, for example, when I was saying earlier in the show, talking about Rokfin, there's a lot of, of those liberals, it seems, on Rokfin.
Yeah.
And I keep getting messages from them, talking about Ukraine, how... the military-industrial complex is really happy about Joe Biden's blank check to Ukraine, and that might be true. That obviously in this broken-ass system that Eisenhower warned us about, humanity hanging on a cross of iron, that the benefactors of this conflict, they're going to be some people are going to be getting a lot more richer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'm not a pacifist, and I mean, I may be a Buddhist, but I'm not a pacifist, and I do think that there are some fights that need to be fought, and
I agree with you.
This is one of them, in my opinion.
I agree with you, because and I'm with those people who are talking about, the military-industrial complex. But now is not the time when people are fighting.
You can't, it's like... You
can't be like, no, we're not going to do anything.
Right, because there's a wolf at the door, and one country is fighting for democracy, and the other is a fucking Nazi autocrat. So I guess... count me in with the Democrats, Hold on, we'll be right back with Thomas Reynolds. All right, I'm back. And with Thomas Reynolds from FYINation.com, the Nosey Liberal. But you know what I'm saying. We're talking about...
No, totally. Yeah. It hurts because I'm on both sides of... I feel like I'm on both sides of the pendulum with this, because I agree with a lot of what the reactionary left says. But what I get so upset about is when we're pointing out the crazy and the kook of the right, and they're like, well, the Democratic Party is just the same. They just go along to get along, and they bend over for the Republicans. While that is true, I'm sorry, there are good Democrats, even on the corporate side, who will fight for LGBTQ rights and stop CRT and all these other things. So you can't just be so reactionary that you cut them off.
Well, it's the same I get where they're coming from, but I also think it's sort of like the same as somebody that's like, oh, I don't want, I don't pay attention to politics. I just don't think, they all suck or whatever, and I'm just going to do my garden and not think about it or whatever the fuck they do. It's almost to that extent because we have the system we have at this point, yes, because of corruption. And I mean, I know it's kind of like, yeah, if I really think about it, I suppose I would kind of just go go to Ireland and sit on a cliff and look at the sea and and not do anything. But
I totally agree.
But it's at this point, I guess it does feel like maybe am I just repeating the same mistakes, expecting different results? Maybe, but that's what we have. I don't know. And short of violent revolution, short of I don't know.
We have to be, especially us who are middle ground, liberal, progressives. We have to be the people who say to the corporate side and the reactionary side, look, it's going to get real bad real quick with these people. Do you want to fight amongst each other or fight them? And I think the better option is to fight them because in the long run, we agree on a lot more than we disagree on. And we have to get to that. And I wish to God, again, I go back to Joe Manchin and Christian Cinema. I wish they would see that because...
Oh, fuck them. They're not going to see shit. They smell money. That's it. They're just...
But imagine, Tara, if they actually did what they tell us to do, blue no matter who, you gotta vote. Imagine if they followed along to blue no matter who and actually went with the President of the United States.
Oh, well, I'm not going to imagine what they're going to do because I might as well go sit on a fucking cliff in Ireland. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine that Kristen Sinema is not a self-seeking bitch. Okay. Imagine Joe Manchin isn't a greedy scumbag who hangs out with, his big billionaire benefactors on his yacht and begs them to give his friend a job so he can vote. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a waste of energy.
But that's
I'm not going to imagine this shit.
The only reason I say
we know
to do that is to get to a positive point where you can continue to fight the good fight. And to plead with these people.
Well, I'm not going to imagine that some Kristen Sinema is going to grow, grow a spine and be a normal person. It's like futile. There's so many other things that I can imagine.
Well, let's put a better imagination into it then.
Yeah, but why? They're corrupt.
Primarying her. Let's imagine somebody.
Yes, well, that's a different story.
And getting. And continuing a democratic rule. I don't care where the imagination comes from. All I'm demanding and all I'm pleading for is that when the Democratic Party is in power, that they actually act like, oh my God, they have
a different story. Those two are the problem, and and Joe Manchin was right. He said, oh, you want progressive policies? You got to elect more progressive. That's what you got to do. You got to get rid of these fuckers. They have to be nullified. As and I hope it happens. But yeah, I just don't know at this point. Especially, it just seems like there's so many things fighting against us, and one of those things is the old guard, in a way that they don't. And I'm not talking about Cinnamon Mansion. They're just corrupt assholes. I'm talking about, it seems to me, like a Chuck Schumer, who's...
Yeah, enablers.
They're just, it's like, enough. Go home. Go. Leave us alone. Like, you've done enough damage. We're trying, the younger Democrats, the ones who don't take corporate money, the ones who don't, they're not the products of they weren't in Congress for this slide of the middle class from the most to the least, upwardly mobile. All of that. And they ran for office, like the AOCs and, the squad people. they ran to, and they're not. I mean, not just the young people, like people like Bernie, who's right. You're right when you're right. There's no need to change when, and that's why Viktor Orban is like, oh, the media's biased. Yeah, it's truth. Truth has a liberal bias. So that's what we want. Anyway, there's just so much. There's so much, so much. The problems it seems insurmountable.
It does, but the very least is we can open more eyes. We can get people more active, and I think that's what you do good at Progressive Voice does, and FYINation does, because people wake up to a message and they wake up to passion.
Yeah, they do, but it's very. There's not enough. That's all. What?
Well, that's exactly it, and we have to. Unfortunately, become a patron to Tara Devlin, because we're not getting that Elon Musk check or that George Soros check that you talk about when they talk about us, like we have some magical mystery money. That again is projection by the right, because that's who has the mattress.
I know. They know it too. That's why they. I mean, it's just whatever. I'm just like.
So it's going to be an uphill battle, but as long as I think you have good friends and good people behind you, I think the battle is worth it, because we're going to get to that point of that future that you're talking about, and we may not get it. But I believe strongly that we're going to get to a future where there's no bigotry, where there's no worry about climate change, where there's no religious wars, and we're all just human. Because sooner or later, the alien is going to land. We're going to change all that.
Sound like John Lennon, eh?
Amen.
Sooner or later, we're gonna get there. There'll be no wars. We're not gonna get there in my lifetime. That's for sure.
I'm not a huge Star Trek fan for no damn reason. And one of the things you learn about Star Trek, and by the way, Fox News is claiming that Star Trek was never political.
Yes, I know.
George Takei set them straight, by the way. What
did he say?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but basically it was, yes, they were.
Yes, I know. I mean, that's the other thing. They were like complaining about Star Trek being like too woke.
Yes.
You fuckers, you're such. Oh my God, I hate them.
Their newest series has a black female captain.
Oh my God.
She happens to cry every once in a while.
Oh,
so all
like
these,
John Boner, right?
Yeah. And the latest series has all these people of color and people who are.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
In different relationships.
Wow, maybe there's even a trans person and a gay person
there actually is a non-binary person.
Oh my God!
You're
What's this world coming to? Wait, hold on. Listen up, everybody. Thank you so much. I can't even believe this is the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. How'd that happen? But remember, we will win. I want to thank Thomas Reynolds for his optimism and for hanging out on Tarabuster. Check out the Nosey Liberal at FYINation.com. We are on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. Become a patron if you can at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. I don't know, if you just want this thing to survive. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. I will see you soon. All right, we're back for the rest of the show. Anyway.
But Star Trek has always had this bright future, but they had to get through a nuclear war. They had to get through all these disasters.
That's the backstory, right?
Before humanity realized and awoke to, a universal health care, an environment that doesn't kill people, no more racism, no more religiosity, all these things that we want to get to. People had to go through these disasters, and maybe that's the case. And I hate that that's the case, but you know what? If we're going to get to that place, or my great-grandchildren maybe might see it, I am thrilled that somebody will see it, and we won't be like Hungary. And that is the future that we're trying to protect. And damn it, I'm going to fight for it.
All right. That's good. I mean, good luck.
I love you too, Tara.
I like your
You're
optimism. I mean, I don't even know what to say, but yeah, believe it or not.
Well, I will, if I can, Star Trek has been around for 50 years, and I've been around for 45 of those 50 years. And to me, that show has always been a comfort, because I've always, how I feel about myself and how, I internalize things and overreach and overthink about how.
Yes, you're unique like that. I know. Yes.
Yeah. And Star Trek is one of these things where nobody does that. They base, like conservatives says, well, we want to base it on your merit. Well, in Star Trek, they actually do. It's not like something they talk about or whatever. Oh, you're a great communications officer, or you're great at engineering. Well, let's put you to that task and see what you could do and be better. And they're not fighting about money and capitalism and all that. And it's just, I'm sorry, I just watched an episode because the new one came out. I'm a dork, and it's so refreshing, because when you turn on Tucker Carlson, who has 2.5 million viewers, and when you turn on Laura Ingraham, the screeching tyrant, who has just as many viewers, you get that negativity, and wrapped up in that, it puts you into the bowels of depression, and we can't be there right now. We can't afford that. And the only way to keep marching on, to get to where we want to get to, is to try to be a little bit more positive. And if I can, give you that,
all right.
And you know me, I'm not normally the person who does this.
Yeah, you must have just watched Star Trek, like you said. Yeah.
It's one of those, but it's so true. I yearn for that. Where
I mean,
where you talk about a partner, and it's not questioned about whether or not it's a man or a woman or somebody who's trans. It's just your partner.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, that's the world that Republican. This is the what we're seeing and experiencing now is a backlash to the successes we've had. It always happens. There's always a backlash, and not just now. In any step forward, there's a backlash, and because that's the way it is, we have to deal with right wingers. The whole world has always had to deal with them, and so the level of idiocy and horror that we're experiencing from the right wing is because of the successes we've had, because gay people haven't been, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? It really isn't. There's gay marriage, but
coming out at a younger and younger age, and they call it grooming. Well, I'm sorry.
This is new, though. What they're saying, grooming, and that's what I mean. It's completely disingenuous on their part. They're doing it to stoke hate, and this is a part of the backlash. So, and where does it go? And this is that's what Joe Biden said. Like, what is it going to be? Where are we going to end with gay kids not being able to have their sit next to other, straight kids, quote unquote, or are we going? I mean, that's what they want. That's why they're if they get their way, That's what's happening in Hungary, stuff like that.
Well,
You know,
see,
but
that's why there's that. I call him the crazy admiral. There's always the crazy admiral on the ship who's trying to tell the good captain what to do. And the bonkers, that's the right winger.
no, I know,
The crazy admiral.
But the
they
thing,
get that little taste of power and they go off the rails with it, and you got to stop them. And we're here to stop them. And we have to be loud about it. We have to be serious about it. We have to be like what you said and keep telling me to do, is be consistent about it. And we really have to go after it with a big stick, because they're going to try and bring a bigger one. And what fired me up, too, was hearing Lauren Boebert talking about us being terrorists and not being able to work with us and not wanting to work with us and everything. And I was like, all right, girl, you don't want to work with me? I sure as fuck don't want to work with you. So I'm going to damn well show you how much.
Well, this is where we are, because how can they work with us? This is because they have so vilified democracy itself. And by extension, this is what they're doing when they're calling Democrats pedophile. They know that they're fucking lying. So, but they're to the point where it's not about you agree that America needs a strong, economically vibrant working class, but we just have different ideas how to get there. That's not where we are. They are to the point where it's you're evil. Democrats are evil. Yeah. Don't give them communion. They shouldn't be allowed in the church. They are, they're groomers. They're, and this is why we just had another mass shooting. But it's not. That's not just one mass shooting. The one in New York here, in Buffalo. But there were other mass shootings the same day, and then there were 3 shootings at 3 high school graduations, 3 different high school graduations around the country. But this is madness, absolute madness, stoked and cultivated by a very the very cancer that is destroying us. And the fact that the right wingers are vilifying, Democrats and normal people and liberals, and they're vilifying the solution, and this is why Democrats. It drives me insane. They have to fight unapologetically. When you're vilifying, when you're talking about liberals or demons and whatnot, the Democrats should say, well, the America is a liberal experiment. There's nothing more progressive than overthrowing a king. I don't understand why. Whatever. They don't do it, but they don't.
Back to what you were saying, though, Tara, because I gotta work graveyard tonight, which sucks. By the way, that's the other reason why I'm wide awake. I got to work graveyard tonight.
Okay.
But that being said, the people like you and me are doing the hard work, and there are other good progressives out there like Jeff Waldorf and Ron Placone who go out there and fight the good fight to try and get people aware. And the more we can do that, and the more hearts and minds that we can get to and reach to and change and get out of the rut that I know I was in, we can really make a difference and get to that future that we talk about and that hopefulness and really make a difference. And I think it is possible. And we just got to put up with some shit. And every once in a while, we might get a funny, like we didn't get a chance to do it. And maybe soon we will, because I want to talk to you about this. The Ted Cruz whining about the Davidson story.
Yeah,
oh my God, I laughed my ass off. Because he is so jealous of Big Dick.
Well, it's just,
he has the
I know. Well, people who don't know what we're talking about, Ted Cruz has a podcast where He's going off on Pete Davidson being able to go, I guess, be in a relationship with Kim Kardashian. Who cares? But the fact is, that's Ted Cruz. He's a senator, and this is his job. He's like a podcaster, and I can't handle it. But anyway, I know you got to run, so.
But the point I was trying to make though is that if you just sit back and laugh at it, because
I wish.
This is why I love seeing Pete Davidson smile and enjoy his life, because he knows people like Ted Cruz cringe and are jealous of him. And that is the most satisfying thing that me, as somebody who is not anything like Pete Davidson, can just enjoy and bask in.
Right.
I vicariously through his misery, and it's just beautiful.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, thank you for hanging out, Thomas, and go enjoy your graveyard shift or whatever.
Yes, till 7 a.m.
Oh my, that's a long night you got ahead of you.
All right, my darling.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Thomas Reynolds, the Nosey Liberal, FYINation.com. Damn, that's a long night. 7 a.m. Holy moly. It's only 10. Damn. All right. You could tell I'm in a crab apple mood, obviously. I mean, Thomas, my God. He's I never seen him so optimistic. I need to start watching Star Trek, I think. But I'm not going to get you optimistic tonight. There's a couple of things I want to talk about before we wrap up. Yesterday I wanted to talk about, let me just show you the stupidity of right-wingers, as if you needed another reminder. But Kevin Sorbo, it's really toxic masculinity, and that's who they are. Kevin Sorbo, he's on par with, I guess, Scott Baio. They have all the big stars, Republicans. He tweeted, "Bring back masculine men," which I found kind of peculiar. It seemed pretty gay to me, Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm gay, but it goes to show you yet again. There's a lot of issues on the right wing. Bring back masculine men? So people started trolling him with some of his most masculine photo shoots, I suppose. Very masculine. The Silverado. Whiskey. I mean, look, it's like, get some help, please, Republicans. Rather than inflict your sickness on normal society, just get the goddamn help you need. Bring back masculine men. I know. I mean, there's an app for that, Kevin. It's called Grindr. You don't need to do it right on Twitter. You could do it privately on Grindr. Anyway, getting back to the rest of the kooks, the geeks, the freaks, the haints, the taints, the ghosts of the Gilded Age, Republicans, they're all week they're talking about the baby formula shortage, which, of course, they helped create with deregulation, Republican policies, and Trump's his deal. He's such a deal maker, making deals. His bullshit NAFTA reboot prevents the importation of baby formula. So, the Republicans don't want to do anything about any of the issues we face. And this is the bottom line. They not only do they create the issues, but then they prevent any solutions because they want to get to the point where they can manifest Orban's hungry. in the United States. So where is this thing here? Oh yeah, so here's Marjorie, Perjury, excuse me. Her name is Perjury Trader Greene, talking about WIC, because first it was Biden is sending pallets to those hungry babies on the border in detention, because we should let the babies starve. The 0.001% of formula that would make absolutely no dent in anything. And then it's Perjury Trader Greene says that the reason there's a shortage is it's the people on WIC, poor people. They fucking hate everybody. You understand? They hate and hate and hate. They are poison. Well, here's Perjury in her own words.
WIC, the government program, is the largest buyer, the largest customer for baby formula in the United States of America. And now Joe Biden and his administration, they're moving into their solution is making WIC an even bigger customer, when in reality, many of the parents that can't buy baby formula for their baby, they're not on the WIC program. And the WIC program is making it more difficult for them to buy baby formula, because if you're on WIC, if you're someone that needs to be on that government assistance, you're allowed to buy as much baby formula as you want to with your WIC vouchers, and they're increasing that for those parents. But if you're not on WIC, you're limited in how many cans of baby formula you're allowed to buy.
Do you realize? Well, I know you do. Every word out of her mouth is a lie. That she's a dumb bitch and manipulates. I mean, she clearly doesn't understand that. So, okay, let me explain. When she's complaining about WIC and that, if you're on WIC, you can have as much baby formula as your hungry little poor brown baby want, because that's the image, the poors, the others are taking baby formula. They can get as much as they want, and the poor babies who are white can't get nothing up in this bitch. But the fact that here's what because they're in every lie, every good Nazi lie, there's a little bit of truth. The fact is, and she's stupid, so she's manipulating, and maybe she doesn't even understand. If you're on WIC, you can buy as much baby formula as you want with your WIC vouchers, or for lack of a better word, right? But that's limited to the supply. So if you go to the store and say, can I get all of this fucking baby formula here on this shelf? From the top to the bottom, I want it all. You can't do it. So your WIC voucher doesn't override the whatever is the limits of the supply. But WIC has no limits in that you can buy baby formula. It's like, but for example, you can't use your WIC vouchers to buy certain items. You can't get lobster. You can't go to the liquor store. You can't get stuff like that. And conversely, you can get as much baby formula. There's no limits on it. So Perjury Trader Greene is taking that and telling the stupid, dumb, hateful monsters who are dumb enough to look at her dead eyes, horse face, two toes, soulless, monstrous visage, to deliberately seek it out and listen to the musings of the monster. She's telling these people that WIC, the poors are getting over on you again by getting as much baby. Yes, as if that would even be a thing. As if Democrats would do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, Democrats would make it so, oh, there's a baby formula shortage. Oh, fuck everybody. But if you got WIC, yeah, get as much baby formula as you can. You know, wink, wink. No limits. Yeah, there's limits to. When you go to the store, it'll say only 3 per customer or whatever. That's the limit. But there's no limit on, as you know, as you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you could buy as many string beans as you want with your WIC vouchers. You could buy as many potatoes. You could buy as many, vegetables, tomatoes, whatever, stuff like that. You could, but so she's taking that and saying, in the baby formula shortage that I just voted against, voted against doing anything about because I want your white babies to starve. And while your white baby is starving, I'm going to be whispering my demonic poison into your ears and telling you to vote for your own demise. Because I'm Perjury Trader Greene. Perjury only... we did a story on her a couple weeks ago, how the fact is, only a couple of years ago did she suddenly become awakened to politics. Before that, her job was being a what do they call that fit thing or whatever. She was a CrossFit enthusiast on the dole of her family. So she's not a businesswoman. She's just a moocher. She's like one of those. So, that she just sucks on her family's teat and tells the world that she did it all on her own, like a toddler. Like my niece when she was little, she'd be like, "I do it myself." She didn't realize that, okay, there's a whole infrastructure propping you up here, toddler. Now she's a grown woman and not an idiot, but Perjury Trader Greene she's like an overgrown toddler. I did it myself. My family's business that I had nothing to do with. I did it myself. And she apparently spent her entire life at the gym for years, and until she fell down a Q hole, and then decided to run for Congress, which she used her family's money, poured $1 million of her family's money, and also had her family put her name on the business documents for the first time in the family's business history. Then she put herself as some kind of, some executive, which she's not. She hasn't worked a day in her life. She's a serial adulterer. She's good at CrossFit, apparently, I guess. I don't know. She was she would go and tour the country doing CrossFit. And the people who went to the gym said she was always there. Morning, noon, night. That's what she did. She got up in the morning and she spent the entire day at the gym. And the people would say, well, I went to the gym for an hour because I had to go to work. But she didn't have to work because she was being supported by her family. And now she's, after her weak mush mind got poisoned by Q, because you got to be a dumbass to fall into a Q hole, she decided to inflict those manias on society and found a lot of people willing to put her in that position. I mean, her greatest claim to fame, I guess she made her bones screaming into the mail slot of somebody who actually knows what the fuck they're doing. But everything about these traders is a lie in general. It's all a lie. All of everything about them. Like J.D. Vance's mother getting, or what's just, like what you just talked about. And Madison Cawthorn It's not as heart-wrenching if you because you drive like an asshole, get yourself goddamn paralyzed. It's more heart-wrenching if you're hit by a drunk driver and then your friend leaves you in the car to die. I mean, that's how the story developed. Because everything about them is a lie. And perjury, trade, or Greene, same thing. It's more appealing if you're a businesswoman, right? According to these fuckers. That's the pinnacle of human existence. You're a businesswoman. But she can't be a businesswoman because that actually takes talent. Or in some businesses, it takes dedication. She's just a lazy Republicans. I mean, they are really the most lazy of all, because it would take work to function in a democratic society, and just like it's like the businesses that they that fund them, that are their paymasters, they take, you know what I mean? Like they manipulate government because it's easier. Who can make a buck unless, they can't make a buck unless they can rig the game in their favor. So, but they know that they are inadequate, and they know that they know how unfit they are. So they have to lie about their stories. Like J.D. Vance has to lie and say, my mom was poisoned by, those dirty brown people, not my corporate paymasters who created an opioid addiction, an opioid epidemic in this country because of their corporate greediness. That's who his mother that's who addicted his mother. She didn't get her drugs on the street. She stole them from hospitals. She stole prescription medicine. I mean, but that doesn't fit the story, the narrative. Liberals, right? It's the liberals. It's the brown people. Truth has a liberal bias. That's why they have to destroy it. They have to destroy truth. They have to destroy democracy and decency. They have to destroy life. Everything about them they're nothing but frauds. It's those poors. The poors. It's the poors and the browns. Do you see? There's no limit on the wicks. If you're on the wicks, the government, because you hate government, except she loves government. You know how many times she sucked on the government teat, this one? They're the same. They're all the same. Government, they're like Goldilocks. Government is just right in the ways it provides for them. Because they're racist when it comes down to it. They can't function in a free, multiracial, democratic society. And it's too much work to evolve. So they want to vilify anyone who is evolved. And that means liberals and normal people, Democrats, progressives, the people who are evolved, who are capable. They have to vilify. Because they can't catch up. So let's drag everybody back to their level, back to the dark ages that we overcame. Honey, we're not going back. I'm sorry, we're not going back in the closet. We're not going back in time to where everybody hated gay people, trans people. We're not going there. No matter how hard you try, you're not changing minds. You're not winning hearts and changing minds, because the only people they really are just preaching to the choir. Everyone, we've already evolved. It's too late. We're not going back. As much as they try. Unreal, though, right? It never stops. Are you a racist?
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
Yes!
The media calls us
I'm
racist for wanting to build Trump's wall.
I'm for you. Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans? Well, I'm your man. You know what that reminded me of? You probably remember this. Where is it?
I'm not a witch. I'm nothing you've heard. I'm you. None of us are perfect.
I'm you?
But none of us can be happy with what we see all around us. Politicians who think spending, trading favors, and backroom deals are the ways to stay in office. I'll go to Washington and do what you do. I'm Christine O'Donnell, and I approve this message. I'm you.
I'm you. I'm just like you. I take a shit in the Capitol, just like you. I'm not a witch. I'm gonna be you. I am you. You see? Ooga booga booga booga. I'm you. Oh, wait, maybe I am a witch. Oh, speaking of witches, last thing, I see there's only a few minutes left in the show tonight. There's a lot of crackpots. Here's one of them.
Human persons, from their earliest days, poisoned in the womb and dismembered, torn limb from limb.
Oh, boy.
Bodies thrown in medical waste bins and in places like Washington, D.C., burned to power the lights of the city's homes and streets. Let that image sink in with you for a moment.
I'm letting it.
The next time you turn on the light, think of the incinerators. Think of what we're doing to ourselves so callously and so numbly.
Wow. That was in a congressional hearing. Catherine Glenn Foster, Americans United for Life, meaning Americans who hate life, and United for Buffoonery. Imagine, right here in D.C., the lights are being powered by the fetuses. I think you meant there was a movie. It was called The Matrix. And that's the world they think. I mean, they live in a very scary world, these demon-haunted freaks, where women carry pregnancies to term, and as they're giving birth, they're like, oh, fuck it, kill it. That's what they think. That's why they hate women. They hate life. And they really need to inflict their fascist manias on society because we're out of control, you know? There's gays happening, there's trans people, there's decency, dignity, democracy, there's people reading books and going to gender studies classes. Oh my God. When they should be making the rich richer. They should be going to work and like at the factory murder house farms, the murder mills, like Trump and all of his buddies, right? They should be going there, live or die, and making the rich richer. And the reason I brought that up, I know that's kind of a non sequitur right before the show ends, is because apparently it came out. I mean, surprise, surprise. Trump made these frontline workers put themselves at risk in these factory murder mills, and not because of anything except he wanted to make his pals happy and rich, and not regardless of whether people were safe and protected, because they hate workers. That's what it's about. And like I always say, as far as the factory farms are concerned, if they could throw you, after you slit the throats of the poor creatures on the murder line, if they could slit your throat and throw you in after them, that's what they would do. I mean, that's not even an exaggeration. We know that. But this is where it's come to. It's come to where a kook, a crackpot like Catherine Glenn Foster is telling the monsters who believe her that Washington, D.C. is being powered by the bodies of dead fetuses? How do we recover from this? You know? All right. I don't know. We'll talk about it more later. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Maybe I won't be as cranky in a few days. We'll see. My name is Tara Devlin. I should thank you, Dana, for becoming a patron. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat. Thank you, Richard W. Thank everyone for hanging out. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. My name is Tara Devlin. We stick together, we win. I'll see you soon. I messed that up. Ow, my neck is really killing me. I don't know what it is. I'm not a witch. Maybe I am. Oh, I'm not a witch. I'm you. That was 12 years ago. I'm not a witch, I'm you. You see where it's gone? It didn't get any better. It only gets worse. Right, JD on the chat. Extreme positions are the new normal. I'm not a witch. And maybe, well, I'll have to talk about that. Trump and Tyson. Robin N says, on the chat says, I'd like to know what the quid pro quo with Tyson and Trump was. Exactly. All right, my friends. Listen up, listen up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jim, for not only super chatting, but also being a moderator, like the chief moderator, Haiku. I hope he's treating you well, Haiku. I mean, Haiku as the supervisor. I know that he's tough but fair, Jim. To all of the moderators. And listen up, guys. So we'll see. If somebody becomes a patron, we will do a show. So sorry, Tara, for what? My neck hurts. Yeah, I don't know. I was in a car accident years ago. I broke my neck in a car accident, believe it or not. That's a whole other story. Obviously, I didn't get paralyzed, thankfully, but nevertheless, my neck was broke. They said that if it had gotten through, the crack had went through, I would have been paralyzed. But it wasn't, so I had to wear a thing. And thank God, right? But apparently, there is some kind of bulging something in my neck. And I guess as I'm getting older, it's hurting more. Or something. Maybe I need to go to a chiropractor. Or something. I don't know. Whatever. I need to go lock the producer. I mean, not lock him up. Unlock him. He's in the bedroom, the producer. He's been relegated to working from the bedroom from now on. Well, he'll come out now and then, but he's been very irritating. And people apparently didn't like it. They didn't like him interrupting the show as much as he was. And honestly, I didn't like it either. It was getting annoying. Have I tried cannabis creams? On your, what do you mean? On your neck? You just put creams? It doesn't get you high, right? I can't do that. If it, I can't have anything like that. But a cream is a different story. Maybe I'll check it out. Yeah, I don't know. Just maybe it's something twisted because it's recent. That's getting worse. But all right. What am I gonna do now? It's 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will go and I just gotta get unconscious, I think. Cannabis, I've heard. Well, I can't do any drugs. God damn it. Don't you get it? Are you trying to kill me, guys? Then there'll be no shows. I'll be off to the races. I won't be able to do a show. My career will be getting high. It's topical. All right. Well, maybe. I'll check it out. Because sometimes even when I turn, I can hear it click. It clicks. So, all right. Listen, guys. Thank you so much. As I said, if you become a patron, if somebody becomes a patron, maybe I'll do a show on Monday or Tuesday or something. But I want to thank Dana for taking the leap, becoming a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. That helps. It really does. And it helps me psychologically. I do get annoyed because the fact is there is no liberal media. And there is a conservative bias, and they're pushing those efforts to the top. It's really unreal. Really unreal. Play Dave says, my neck has been bothering me too, starting to bother my arm. I feel your pain, literally and figuratively. Reefer isn't a drug? Well, tell that to my sponsor. No, I can't. I don't even want it. Please. Getting high is overrated. I'll stick to coffee. All right, guys, thank you. And thank you, Dana. Oh, great show. Very nice. Thank you for your compliments. And everyone has a stiff neck. Maybe it's the stress. Maybe it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes, CBD is fine. Mug stew. I can do that. As long as I don't get, fucked up. And I'm like, whoa. Next thing you know, I'm, selling my cats on the corner. Being like, hey, I got a cat here. All right, my friends, listen like I said. Oh, that's funny. White Rabbit, thanks for bringing up the witch ad. Gave me an idea to edit a mix-up of the witch ad. Yeah, with the Vance ad. It's true. That's what I thought of when I saw that. Are you a racist? Yeah. I'm not a witch. God, this country. Help us. I wish the Democrats would listen to the show. We can fix this country. I know how to do it. That's, I guess, why I'm so frustrated. It seems so simple to me, but there's too many greedy bitches standing in the way. That's what it is. Like Kristen Sinema, Joe Manchin. It's the greed. The corruption. All right. Enough. I need to get unconscious. Thank you so much for hanging out. I need to go hug my cats and watch. I'm going to watch TV. I don't know what I'm going to watch. I need to stop thinking about this for a little bit. Maybe there's a good TV show that I can distract myself with. We really are living in a golden age of television. I keep saying that. It's true. I know. Lavender says, I love Tara Jr. interrupting the show. Well, he'll be back. He's getting he's going on Prozac soon, so maybe it'll mellow him out a little bit, and he can come back. But him like biting my hands and during the show, we can't have that. But he's a good boy. I'm gonna go give him a hug. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. My name is Tara Devlin. And like I said earlier, we will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. Yes, they give Prozac to cats. Francis is on Prozac. Mugs Sue. And it helps. It actually curbs their obsessive behaviors. It was really the only thing that worked for Francis. He used to obsessively lick himself. But, so it works. I'm hoping it'll help Tara Jr. with his obsession and his craziness about Ray. Every time Ray walks in the room, he's like, he's upset. He gets upset. It's annoying. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. And I'll see you very soon.